Good morning, happy Tuesday, everybody. I hope everyone's having an exceptional start to their week. I hope you're eating well during the daytime and sleeping well at night. Now, in yesterday's show, I touched on a movement, right? And the movement's called #WalkAway. I think it's an exceptional movement. It's 100% Democrats who decided to start looking into things. So during today's show, we're going to be looking into that further. All right, so we know what we're talking about here. The walkaway movement started in 2018 by a longtime Democrat that chose to switch to the Republican side. He goes by the name of Brandon Straka. He posted a YouTube video that went super viral and got a lot of attention.
Once upon a time, I was a liberal. Well, to be honest, less than a year ago, I was still a liberal. I became a liberal because I felt I'd found a tribe whose values aligned with my own. I staunchly reject racism of any kind. I reject the marginalization of any human being based off of their gender or sexual orientation. I reject tyrannical groupthink. I reject a system which allows an ambitious, misinformed, and dogmatic mob to suppress free speech, create false narratives, and apathetically steamroll over the truth. I reject the acceptance of junk science and superstition to advance ideological agendas. I reject hate. These are the reasons why I became a liberal. And these are the same reasons why I am now walking away. For years now, I have watched as the left has devolved into intolerant, inflexible, illogical, hateful, misguided, ill-informed, un-American, hypocritical, menacing, callous, ignorant, narrow-minded, and at times, blatantly fascistic behavior and rhetoric. Liberalism has been co-opted and absorbed by the very characteristics it claims to fight against. For years now, I've watched as people on the left have become anesthetized to their own prejudices and bigotry, and the prejudices and bigotry of those around them.
Now, when that video came out, it got 962,000 views 7 years ago. Let's go to that video and check out the comment section. All right, so here we are at the original video. Let's go to the comments. Check some of these comments out. This changed my life forever. Proud Venezuelan American Republican here. I voted Democrat for the majority of my life, but when I started looking at things myself, I saw the truth. Thank you for sharing and God bless you. I ran from the Democrat Party and went to vote for Mr. Trump, and I will do it again. God bless America. God bless Mr. Trump. That was 5 years ago, 2 years ago. This one was powerful then as it is more powerful today. Thank you, sweet Brandon, warrior for the people. Thank you for your service. From a fellow lifelong Dem who walked away and lost friends over it. Yeah, that's a common theme. I'm ashamed that I was Democrat till 2 years ago, but I walked away. Will never vote Democrat again. Outstanding, outstanding. I mean, I say it often in a lot of my videos. As the radical left continues to double down on their nonsense, their woke ideology, their crazy ideas, they call it love. They call it love, a lot of these crazy ideas, you know what I mean? But at the same time, they call everyone that doesn't agree with them fascist, Nazi, dictator, racist. They call them all these names so that people won't ask questions. They want their left-leaning voters, the people of love and acceptance, to believe that the opposite side is a terrible force of evil, so that they can't educate themselves, so that we can't talk amongst each other. They've made it a taboo for liberals and conservatives to talk and find common ground. Now let's check out a couple of these stories from these fine people who decided to ask questions.
A lot of people don't know about me is that at one point I was that raging liberal. I was that person that was burning American flags. I was that person that was at the BLM protest. I was the one that was marching in the streets for every black thing that was going on. I was that black woman that genuinely had a disdain for white people, even though that I grew up with white people. Like, my foster mom is a white person, my foster dad is a white person, I have white aunts and uncles, I have mixed cousins, and all of these things. But I had a disdain for white people. I was on the radical left, even though I didn't vote or any of those things. And honestly, when I met my husband, a lot of things changed because he is white and I am black. And that dynamic, it honestly didn't work because we were dating in 2020, and a lot of the racial tension with, BLM and George Floyd really damaged our relationship because I was arguing these points and he wasn't listening, and he was giving me facts and I wasn't listening. He never tried to argue with me. He would send me things in order for me to actually listen and look at the truth. And eventually I started to look at what was actually going on. And the first person that I actually watched continuously was Gothics. Gothics was the person that actually opened my eyes, solely because she was a black woman that was radical left, and now she is a conservative black woman. Then I started watching people like the Hodge twins, black people, Officer Tatum, Candace Owens, all black creators. Then I started listening to Charlie Kirk and Ben Shapiro. I did not like Ben Shapiro. I hated Ben Shapiro. I did not like the way he talked. Even though I didn't listen to anything that he had said and thought it made sense, I just didn't want to listen to him as well. Like listening to what they're saying, looking it up myself, and then realizing what they're saying is actually true. I was a radical black woman that was angry all the time and bitter and ready to argue somebody down. But then I actually tried to research. I took about hours and hours of research that I've done over the years to realize that I've been lied to as a black woman my entire life about the Democrats and what is actually going on, and the fact that they truly do not care about black people.
Yeah, once people start actually looking into things, they start to realize this doesn't make any sense. Let me look into it a little bit further. Like, remember when the news was saying Trump's birthday party when it was for the Army's 250th birthday? Did you watch that parade? Because I did. And here's what he actually said. I view it for Flag Day, not necessarily my birthday. Somebody put it together, but no, I think we're going to do something on June 14th, maybe, or somewhere around there. But I think June 14th, it's a very important day. And what is the birthday of the United States Army? Well, it's June 14th, 1775. But because he mentioned birthday in a sentence, in a statement, right? The news ran with it. Rather than saying the whole quote, they ran with birthday. Trump said birthday. This means it's now his birthday parade. Meanwhile, at the same time, you had the Democrats listening to everything that they said and believing it to the T. How many times did you see on Facebook Trump's birthday parade? I saw it so many times, even from fellow veterans that decided not to even tune in to the parade, people that served in the Army, because they thought it was Trump's birthday parade. All right, now let's look at another short story of why a Democrat chose to become she wants it to be called the new right because she's not fully Republican, but she just knows that she's never voting Democrat ever again.
I am so critical of the Democratic Party right now is because I literally just left it, just like a lot of other people. I was a bleeding heart liberal like all of you. I mean, blue hair and everything. I mean, believe me, I have plenty of pictures proving that I was all in. If you would have asked me a year ago, I would have said there is no way in hell I will ever vote for Donald Trump. But let me tell you what changed my mind. The big moment for me was when the left started trying to push this like Nazi, Hitler, fascism narrative that they're trying to push right now. Like, what y'all actually did is made a lot of us really go research Trump even harder. And we started to realize that a lot of things that you guys had shown us about Trump and things that he had said were taken way out of context. A lot of us started noticing a pattern where you guys were showing us like little 10-second clips of a 10-minute conversation that did not reflect the entirety of that conversation at all. So that was number one. And then around Thanksgiving, all of a sudden you guys are telling us that it would be better for us to sit at home and spend the holidays with no one than it would be to go home to your family who voted for Trump. When I heard that, I was like, okay, now y'all are wildin', because you cannot tell me that it is better for your mental health to sit at home alone than it is to go and spend time with your friends and family. Y'all had actual therapists getting on TV and telling you guys this. And the sad thing is that it would have been better for them to encourage you to do something like find other people that believe the same as you to spend the holidays with, but they didn't. They told you to stay in your home and spend the holidays with no one. When that happened, I was like, okay, I gotta give this party a second look because something is not right here. So if you guys want to continue living in that kind of miserable existence, like, that is on you. We are not participating in that anymore. And by saying that, I'm not saying that we're not going to be participating in changing the state of the world, but we don't have to be miserable while we're doing it. So at this point, just forget everything that you have ever heard about Republicans, because I promise you, if you get a group of Trump voters in the room, you will not be able to put them all in one box. I promise you that. The Democratic Party is no longer the party of tolerance and inclusion and diversity. It's the new right. I heard someone else call us that, and honestly, I think we should start calling ourselves that, because we're not Republicans. I don't consider myself a Republican. I don't consider myself a Democrat anymore, but I damn well am not going to consider myself a Republican. I think we should coin ourselves as the new right, because that is so fitting. If that's you, then I am so glad you're here, and welcome to the new right. We would love to have you.
Yeah, she's 100% right. The left, the new left, it's not a party of love, intolerance, and justice. It's a party of hate, bigotry, fascism, and intolerance. Now, the walkaway movement isn't purely just on YouTube. Much like Charlie Kirk and Officer Tatum, they also go and talk to people. Here is mothers talking about trans ideology around our youth.
You know, you kind of brought this up before when you were talking about the conversation you had with your friend. Mm-hmm. I had a conversation with a woman who's actually a volunteer with Walkaway, and she came to me and she told me that her daughter was now identifying as a boy. She said to me, it's not so much the trans thing that bothers me. She said, what bothers me is that all of her friends are identifying as boys too. Mm-hmm. And she said, and there's a common denominator, which is this one particular educator at the school who's kind of pushing this idea. And I started to kind of get, I mean, I'd already been getting it anyway, but when I had that, direct connection with somebody who was experiencing this, and then I started to see there really is a social contagion issue that's happening 100%. Here.
Yes.
And this isn't legitimate transgenderism. No. And I think that's the biggest problem.
It's grooming. Girls at that age are especially looking for community connection. Right. Women are wired to connect with peers, and it starts from early childhood. So if you have good friends, you're more likely to be a good girl. If you have baddie girlfriends, you're more likely to do the baddie things. And now they all have girlfriends who identify as something or another. So not identifying as yourself became the cool thing to be. So if you go to school and you're the only girl identifying girl, they look at you like you don't fit in.
Now, there are plenty of stories like that, and I urge you to check out their page. There's so many good stories. There's a lot of sad stories in there as well. Of people being manipulated, losing friends, being hated simply because they asked different questions. Now, I really hope you enjoyed this segment of The Right View. I am going to put the Walkaway campaign YouTube down in the description below, so please check out some of their stories on there. Like I said, there's a lot of terrible stories on there, but also makes me happy that people are waking up and becoming happier in return. Now, if you haven't liked this video yet, please like it. I wouldn't mind it. And add a comment. If you don't know what to comment, just put an emoji. It helps engagement, helps the channel grow. Also, I wouldn't mind a subscription. It's free to do. And I wouldn't mind having the extra support. For the rest of your day, please get outside, enjoy it. Winter is coming. And as always, do some PT, hydrate, and change your socks. I'll talk to you in the next one. All right, bye.